Going live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Modern Directories live stream. I'm Jarrett Levin, and today I have the great honor of introducing Theresa Metzler, co-founder of the Modern Directory, who we are going to get to know today a little bit more.
Thank you so much for having me, Jarrett.
Oh, it's so... Welcome back to my mansion, my office.
Your lovely home and your two lovely puppy pies.
This wing of my house.
Yes.
Yeah, we're technically in the office wing of the house, for those of you curious.
Lovely.
But before, last week we dedicated the episode to my parents, Ron and Gail. So I think it's only fitting that today's episode is dedicated to your mother. Yes. Would you like to give a message to
Mama Camille? Love you so much. You're the reason I'm here in this world. This episode is dedicated to you.
Bada bing, bada boom, baby.
I see things.
Oh, stop.
Stop showing me your camera roll right now.
Oh, stop.
I can't look that way.
Don't look over here. Oh, yeah, don't look over here. Well, I want to start off. Last week you told a little story about the first time that you met me. I don't feel like telling the story of like the first time I met you, because if I'm being honest, like it's the same story. So, but what I will say, one of my favorite things about Theresa, one of my favorite things about Theresa is her style.
Aww.
Like, I'm not even kidding you. Now, when I knew Theresa at Alumni, she dressed like a corporate businesswoman. She wore like I vividly remember it. It was like the same, like it was like a black pair of slacks or a black skirt. You had that like long below the knee calf skirt, and she'd wear like a white top and sometimes a blazer.
Yeah.
When that ended, so did Theresa's style change completely. Like I remember she would show up, and I almost want to make you like stand up and like show the people, but I won't. I won't make you. But your style, she takes risks that like even I wouldn't do.
Oh, that's saying a lot.
What do you mean?
Well, thinking of all the photographs I have of you over the years. Well, that's another episode in itself.
Jarrett tries on clients' clothes.
Yes.
An episode.
Jarrett was our fit model. It was so gorgeous you are.
Oh no, I was referencing back to how
model?
skinny I once was. I know everybody's probably thinking right now.
We're all.
Yes. So T, why don't we get a little bit back on track? And why don't you tell us like a little bit about your background dating back to the early 2000s and 10s? We're not aging you here.
Oh, the 2010s. Well, let's see.
You can go as far back as you want.
A little bit about me. Well, I mean, the reason I wanted to be in fashion is because I just love clothes. I love fabrics. I love getting dressed up. If I am not dressed up, I don't feel good. Like I can't schlep around in like sweats and a tank top and no bra. I feel gross and I'm not productive. So I've always liked to get dressed. Even when I was a little kid, my mom said that I never wanted to wear pants. I always wanted to wear like a frilly dress to the park.
What did you wear as a kid?
Like, well, whatever my mom put me in. But,
really?
But as a little girl.
Oh my gosh. My mom tells stories that I would say, Mommy, me no like zipper. And that she knew I was destined to be in fashion because like from the moment that I could really talk, that's what so I was apparently dressing myself. So I'm surprised.
Well, no, my mom, well, you know, if you're going to the park in a dress, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's a little different now. Things have changed. But when I was little, it was a little more, let's say, circumspect in what you could do, what you could wear, where you're going, this kind of thing.
Okay.
So like I remember I had this yellow dress with embroidered daisies on, and I wanted to wear it everywhere. Like it was one of my favorite dresses, but it was like taffeta with like silk underneath.
And you wanted to wear it to the park
and
she wouldn't let you.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
What a shame.
So then going forward, I started to make all my clothes because I never had the clothes that I wanted because I could never afford them and my parents wouldn't pay for them. But I always looked at Vogue and fashion magazines.
So you knew how to sew and everything?
Yeah. So my mom actually taught me how to sew
Oh.
because she had 4 sisters and they all sewed their own clothes.
Did Camille sew her own clothes as well?
Well, their 2 of their sisters were really big. Their oldest 2 sisters were really big seamstresses. And so we all kind of grew up sewing. And so I made a lot of my clothes. And one of my mom's favorite stories that she says when she knew I was going to be in fashion is that she went one day to change the sheets on the beds upstairs and she opened
they were gone.
The pantry and she's like, where are all the white sheets? Where are all the white sheets? And she went into my room and I was cutting up all the flat sheets to make a summer wardrobe because I had no money. I was in college and I wanted white shirts and shorts and skirts. And so I made this whole, and she called it my sheet collection.
Wait, but that's like kind of amazing. That's impressive.
Well, thank you.
Are there photos? You should like. Where's the archive?
Yeah,
a la Kim Kardashian, who keeps everything.
Well,
where is?
Because she grew up in the age of photographs everywhere. There's very few photographs of me for several reasons. One of which is I hate being photographed. I hate being on.
So you love
camera.
this, right?
This is so much fun. I'm loving it right now. It's just my bracelet is stuck on my dress, but we're just gonna stare.
We're just gonna let it be.
So yes.
Okay, so wait, so you did that. Did you go to school for?
I did not go to fashion school. I wanted to. I got into fashion schools, but my parents were like, we really think that you should get a 4-year bachelor's degree. So I went and I got a bachelor's degree in history because history was easy for me. And
you always need to know history.
You always need to, and actually it has served me well because historically throughout the years, history has dictated fashion in many ways, like in the 40s and 50s during the war, they couldn't get they used silk for parachutes. So women couldn't wear silk stockings,
Wow.
The corset, its evolution over the years of binding women's bodies and making it horrible and into like the impure ways. I mean, there's so many things that are historical about fashion that it was helpful in a way, and learn about life as well.
So then so you studied history,
yes.
But then out of college, did you ever use history, or did you basically say screw it and then you went?
No, I graduated and I got a job in the industry.
Doing what?
I worked for a small leather goods company who had the Yves Saint Laurent license for. It was before it was Saint Laurent. It was Yves Saint Laurent, and it really had kind of taken a little plummet there. It was in, I think, Macy's or something like that.
I didn't know. Did that really happen?
It wasn't Macy's, but all the
we're gonna get a cease. We're gonna get a cease and desist. Remove.
Let's just say he had the license to sell it in Hawaii.
Okay.
And
only Hawaii?
In certain Japanese stores downtown. It was a little bit sketch, but they were legit stores. One of which was in the Bonaventure.
Okay.
And so I was his sales rep, and he was an older gentleman.
We're just gonna pan the camera quickly to see the little baby girl.
Hi, sweetie.
But continue.
And he took me to Italy and several different countries to trade shows where I got a really great education of how the industry works from the wholesale side. And then I went to work for a production company that did all overseas knitwear in China and South America called Mackinac at the time. And it was done by Susan and Michael Rosen, who owned Guild on Abbot Kinney. I actually think their son has taken over now, but I haven't talked to them in a long time. But it's a great store in Abbot Kinney.
But if you're watching this,
check it out. So I worked for them for a long time as their production. I started as a coordinator and then was oversaw all their production until I had my first baby Blaze.
Aww, my son.
Yes, your son.
We have an internal joke, a joke between the two of us that somehow, even though her children and I are of similar ages.
Yes.
Similar. We will not disclose either of our ages.
Neither one, no.
But your 3 children are Blaze.
Isabella.
Hi, Bella.
Hi. And Jojo, Joseph.
Yes.
The baby is going off to college, so they're All flying
next week.
All gone, yeah.
This is a little off subject, but you're going to be an empty nester for the first time in a long time.
I know. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
You're going to dive right in to the modern directory. Yes. What are you talking about? Vegas.
Oh, no. Well, we have to do Vegas anyway. Let's go somewhere else.
Oh, sorry. Cabo?
Okay, yeah.
Hawaii?
Possibly.
Europe?
Oh, yes.
Italy. Okay, so then you had your kids, and then what?
Then I moved back to LA. Oh, there was a stint in Michigan, another husband, more kids, all of that. But I came back and I was kind of in a big transitional phase and really needed a job. And I saw the notice for alumni was looking for a bookkeeper.
Yes.
And I went in to interview for the job, and they're like, "Oh my God, you have like a lot of fashion background. Are you,
right?"
And basically, they were like, "This is great." And Marina hired me to be bookkeeping, and then it kind of evolved to so much more there. And that's where we met. And
yes. And then alumni ended, and then what did you do? What are you doing now while building the modern directory and all of that? But
well, now I just do development and building brands and custom pieces with Theresa, LA.
I was going to say plug the company name. I was afraid you weren't going to get there.
Yeah, so that's what we do. We do everything designed and produced in Los Angeles, sourced in Los Angeles. And we work with big brands, small brands, celebrities, athletes, a lot of red carpet, a lot of custom pieces.
What she's wanting you all to know is she does it all.
Yeah, I wear a lot of hats.
She makes the impossible possible. Aww. I will always remember, you had a client that you did mascots for. And I'm not talking any sort of mascots. I'm talking about like picture food as mascots. So like a big chicken wing or a French fry.
Yeah, hot wing with a chicken wing. Hot wing. And
we went to Vegas and to make sure that they all were looking good and everything like that. And we tried them.
Them all. Yeah, there's photographs. There's awesome. Yeah.
So good.
Because we did all the production in Turkey, and then they shipped it here in big crates, like sort of like Madagascar.
Yes.
And then they're life-size Mickey Mouse type, amazing, gorgeous quality, and just like beyond.
So hot. It was so cool. Yeah, they had like internal fans inside of them and everything like that. It was very fascinating. Did you feel like you learned a lot through that process?
So much. Just like insane amount of work that goes into that type of garment. Let's call it.
Because weren't they basically made of like felt, or like was there something?
They're made of a oh gosh, I can't think of the fabrication, but it's like a polystyrene that the actual form, and then they cover it with different types of fabrics. Felt them. Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was a cool project, I will admit. But then I want to know, so you did Theresa, you did all of these things, and then I came to you with an idea.
Yeah.
So what was it that made you be like, this is smart.
Well,
I really see an opportunity in the space.
I was like, well, personally, I can definitely benefit from that for Theresa. We can all benefit from new sources of, manufacturers, brands. I mean, the sky's the limit, because what we both do encapsulates all that. But then we're like, if we can benefit from it, how many other people can benefit from it? And then we're both like, ding, let's just do this for everyone.
Cha-ching, ching, ching. Or like, what's the sound that stars make? Like, bing, bing, bing. bing.
I'm not sure that's what they sound like, but I see it. That's
there's no sounds.
No.
Maybe the new NASA camera thing can capture that.
Sound.
Maybe there's a sound thing that they can add to it. Yeah. I don't know. But
so I just feel that this is like the next big thing for fashion, because how many different elements and levels go into each product that we do as a small company. Think of like the larger, components that go into big production.
Well, I think if you look at like a huge company like a Nike, right? If you were to take the concept of the modern directory and connecting all aspects, Nike, like your job may just be like a color specialist, right? Your job is color. You don't do anything other than color, right? And so then there's somebody else that's designing the shoelace and that's designing the sole and that's just, I mean, I don't actually know that, but like
they do drill it down for sure. Like there's the kid sweater designer, and the adult sweater and the men's sweater designer. Like there's.
I remember when I was looking at jobs years like fresh out of college, and it was a Ralph Lauren had a posting, and it's Ralph Lauren outlets women's knit sweaters designer. Like that was how specific the role was. So what that really shows us in the case of the modern directory is that there's an opportunity to connect all of these different components. Completely. So we're here to bring it to you.
Let's circle the circle of life together, the circle of the spinning wheel.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. The circle of life, we're bringing it all together.
Oh, yes. That just makes me want to sing from The Lion King. The circle of life. Yeah, you have to pay. You have to pay for that. Wait, really?
Next time.
Oh, this is for part 2 of unpacking.
Folks, gotta go.
Part 2 of unpacking Terry. And I used your favorite word. She hates the word unpacking. I think we mentioned it last week. But next week, we are going to start a series for anybody who's interested. And what it is?
The making of a brand. How to make your brand. We're going to just dial it down, giving you little snippets, hacks, tips. Get your brand going. Anybody who's interested in that, from t-shirts to ball gowns.
Exactly.
We'll tell you how to do it.
We're going to start with sort of like how to get you up and running quick and fast. And then as the series progresses, we're going to be much more detailed about the process. And we'll also have some special guests along the way that can share some insight. But for now, we say ciao.
Ciao, bella.
For now, we say ciao. Bye, everybody.